I'm here because I just got this truck back. One of my employees crashed it and literally almost cost me over $100,000. I bought it a year ago and it was $64,000. Now, why did it almost cost me over $100,000? One of my employees took it without my consent and he got into a car crash with 3 different cars. Not only that, he got a DUI, got arrested, and my truck got impounded. Okay, let me put on my seatbelt before I tell you guys the story. But it was literally 10 p.m. on a Sunday. I was at home and I get a notification on my phone saying your truck has been in an accident. Like, there's no fucking way my truck's in an accident. It's Sunday, it's 10 p.m. I text my guys and I'm like, who's driving the truck? What's going on? My number 1 employee, Arturo, hits me up. I'm like, yo, is my truck in an accident? Like, why does it say that my truck's in an accident? He's like, yeah, I got in an accident. I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro. There's no way that it's a Sunday night and you got into an accident. At the time, I didn't know that he was drunk. I was just worried and I was like, okay, let me get ready and let me go drive to him because he wasn't responding. I kept asking him where he was, what's going on. Since I knew where it was, I just started driving there. It was snowing at the time. That's why I was like, okay, maybe like he just slipped, he hit a car, whatever. I didn't know how bad the accident was, if the truck was drivable, if he was okay, because he wasn't answering me. When I get there, I see that this dude rammed 3 freaking cars. I park on the side, I go up to him and I get on the passenger door, you know? I come in here and I'm like, hey, like, is everything okay? He's clearly shaken up. I thought it was just because he crashed and he's like, fuck, like, I'm gonna get in trouble because I grabbed the truck and I wasn't supposed to. This is one of my snowplow trucks and I need it for this storm. Like, it's literally snowing. We're gonna have to wake up at 4 a.m. to go plow snow. So the cop gets to the window, asks him a bunch of questions, whatever, you know, like, the truck is drivable, we'll just leave, everything's normal. The cop then says, we're gonna need to do a DUI test. And I had already asked Arturo, I'm like, did you drink? And he had said no. So I was like, he's gonna pass this, we're gonna be able to leave, everything's gonna be okay. The cop told me I couldn't get out the car, so I'm literally sitting in the passenger seat. My employee doesn't speak Spanish, and the cop was giving him DUI instructions through a translator. And I felt like, I'm like, dude, I hope they don't mistake him for being drunk because it's cold, like he was freezing. They were out there, he didn't even have a jacket, and I'm like, fuck, dude, he better pass this test because like the cop needs to understand that he's not drunk. I see him stumbling through the freaking test. At this point, I'm getting worried because I'm like, fuck, like what's going on? Like, is it because it's cold, whatever? The cop then proceeds to put this man in handcuffs and I'm just like, oh my fucking God, like what is going on? So I get out the door and the cop had already told me to stay inside. He was low-key being mean to me. I get out and he's like, he's being arrested for DUI. He's drunk. Get whatever you need from the truck. I'm like, can I take the truck? Like, why is it getting impounded? He's like, I'm sorry. Whenever there's a DUI, we have to impound the truck. I'm like, please, officer, like, this is my plow truck. Like, I'm the owner. Like, I need this truck tonight. Like, you cannot take it. Please, please, please. Please, 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 please. Like, I'm sorry. This is just part of the rules. I have to take it if he's getting a DUI. I come around. As soon as I open the door, on this very seat, I see a little freaking bag of something, bruh. Cocaine, heroin. I don't know what the fuck it is. I grab it and I throw it back here in this corner. And as soon as I do that, another cop opens that door and he starts flashing his light all around. And there's literally like beer cans, a bunch of cans down here that I didn't even notice. And I leave. I'm just like, you know what? At this point, it is what it is. I can't control anything. I'm just going home. I remember just passing by my employee, seeing him in the cop car and being like, next day, I go to get my truck. It was like $1,000. But where does $100,000 come in? I didn't want to get into any sort of trouble. So when my insurance called me and they're like, did this guy have authorization to drive your truck? I'm like, fuck no. It was a Sunday at 10 p.m. The lady that called me for the insurance said, since he wasn't allowed to drive your truck, we're not covering you for this accident. So not only are we not going to fix your truck, but it's on you, and these people that he crashed are gonna come after you or your company, and you're gonna have to pay for their medical expenses and for their cars to get fixed. The lady then said, unless you tell us right now that he did have permission to drive your truck.
You got me.
Okay, yeah, he did have permission. Sometimes they take my trucks. She's like, don't even worry about it. We're gonna put it in the system that he did have permission to take your truck so that everything gets covered. My limits aren't as high as they should be. So that means since he crashed 3 trucks and one of them was like a 2026 BMW, not everyone's getting covered for their full amount. Those people have the right to sue me. So my truck got fixed. I just got it back today. So now what happened with that employee? During that month, we had so much work that I was like, please stay, please work, whatever. You made a mistake. He's like, no, I'm going with my family in Chicago. He is literally my best worker. This is the guy that I always tell people, if I told him to murder someone, he would do it for me. Like he's a ride or die for this company. The point is, he said no. I think like what happened really traumatized him. He was embarrassed. He basically fired himself because I was still willing and give him another opportunity. Now, why am I telling you guys this story? Because in business, you're always gonna have issues. This isn't my first time that an employee has crashed my truck. I think I've gone through this probably 8 different times. When I was first starting out, I had a guy that we even nicknamed Chocas because this dude crashed 5 of my freaking trucks, bro. I still get flashbacks thinking about him. He almost killed a homeless man in Wisconsin by hitting him with a trailer. There will always be reasons to not be in business. That is why I make the big bucks, is because I'm willing to take on all of that risk from my employees, driving my trucks, driving my equipment. Now, I know this video is super different than what I'm usually posting, and I had recorded a bunch of clips of other things that I might or might not still put in this video, but this is my journal for my future and my business, the Shed Pros. I'm just glad to have my freaking truck back. Hopefully I don't get sued. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be posting every Wednesday, so please follow me, like, subscribe, comment something. You motherfuckers never comment, like, or subscribe, bro. So please, for your boy, like, I'm trying to grow my personal brand, my business brand. See you next Wednesday.
So slowly